Welcome to the Feudal Anime Podcast. I'm your host, Jack.
And I'm Rick.
And today we're going to talk about 91 Days, the anime. This is your spoiler warning. We do talk about it in full, beginning, middle, and end.
It's a good anime. I highly recommend it. In fact, I'm the one that chose it this week.
Yes. So this week we're going to change our format a little bit and see how it works. So I'm going to start off with the synopsis of the anime. This is a synopsis from my anime list. As a child living in the town of Lawless, Angelo Laguzza has witnessed a tragedy. His parents and younger brother have been mercilessly slaughtered by the Veneti mafia family, losing everything he holds dear. He leaves both his name and hometown behind, adopting a new identity of Avilo Bruno. 7 years later, Avilo finally has his chance for revenge when he receives a mysterious letter prompting him to return to Lawless. Obliging, he soon encounters the Veneti Don's son, Nero, and seeks to befriend him using the skills he has quietly honed for years. This set is set during the Prohibition-era, and 91 tells of the story of Avilo's dark and blood-stained path to vengeance as he slowly ends each of the men involved in the killing of his family. So
seems pretty cut and dry as far as the synopsis goes, but
yeah,
it's fairly accurate.
Well, I would say it's under accurate for the beginning part of it. I mean, like, he witnesses a tragedy. I'd be like, that's a little bit more than just tragic. I'd be like, dude straight up sees his family get murdered. Like, not easily either. Like, straight up just brutally murdered. And
yeah.
I mean, like, it does great work in sound in setting the groundwork, but Jesus.
Well, every main protagonist that has to watch their family die grows up to be kind of a badass in most anime. But the thing I truly enjoy about this one is overall it uses a very human approach. It's not so cartoony as, oh, I'm doing this to get stronger and I'm working my butt off and now I can lift a car. Yeah. No, in this one, it's more along the lines of he's living as a shell of a man before he gets this anonymous letter. So he is super sketched out by this letter originally, because as you would be if you left your family, home after.
Well, it's not even that he left his family home. He left his name. He left everything behind. Yeah. You know, after watching his family get murdered, and then he receives a letter with his name on it, the actual name, Angelo.
His family name.
Yeah.
Now, the funny thing is, only one person in that whole thing knew that he survived, and that's because one of the guys, the Vasetti family, Vanetti. I never get that right.
It's all good.
One of the Vanetti family who was supposed to shoot and kill him shoots and misses.
Yeah, because he closed his eyes.
And he knew he missed, and he reported back that he killed him.
No, it's not that he reported back that he killed him. What happened was he told his father he missed, and his father, Nero's father, because you find out later on that it is Nero, was upset about this, so he spends most of his time trying to redeem himself to his father. So he threw himself wholeheartedly into everything. But it's not that he's the only one either that would have known, because you see a guy, you saw the three that walked in there, and then you go outside when the kid runs, and you see the other gentleman jump off the porch to take aim, and you also saw at the car there was a fourth guy. So there was a fourth.
Yeah, looking back, there's a fourth guy. That's correct. And that becomes a big plot thing later.
Yeah, and he knows that there is a fourth guy because he's like, who? Like, no one would name themselves. Who would be that ridiculous?
Yeah.
So he knows it's not one of those three. He knows that there's a fourth, and it has to be someone close to them for them to be able to get that information, to get names of them. And it's not, and I would even say that the synopsis is a little wrong. It's not the Veneti mafia family, because the Venetis were a part of the same mafia as the Laguzza.
Yeah, they were just trying to get extra power.
Right.
it was a power struggle and someone had to die, basically. It was a scenario of the, the current Dawn says there's not enough room for both of us. One of us has to leave, and I'm going to show how strong I am by using force.
Yeah. So you're led to believe that he's going to go for some like straight up cold revenge and vengeance in this whole ordeal. And the only other person that knows, other than the fourth guy, the only other person that knows he's still alive is Corteo, who was Avilo's friend as children. Now, it's been 7 years, and time did go by, and the only and he does come back, and he does see his friend, and his friend's now makes alcohol. He now bootlegs.
Yeah, it's during the Prohibition when the mafia actually did. Like, historically speaking, it's fairly accurate as far as the timeline goes, not necessarily the people involved.
Oh, yeah.
But it's pretty, like, dead on.
Yeah.
Because there was a little area where it was immune to the Prohibition because technically it was not on U.S. soil, and technically it was considered a safe zone and all that stuff. But everything else, it's a nice fantasy. It makes you believe that the people who wrote this actually did their research and actually made a solid attempt to portray not only the ideals of an American gangster, but the nuances that the American gangsters would hold dear. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Honestly, this anime reminds me very much of The Godfather, and Nero actually kind of takes on Al Pacino's role a little bit, from the feeling of it. I mean, like, especially the beginning after you're reintroduced to the character. He's an adult, and they go to a wedding, which is where The Godfather actually starts off. The Godfather starts off at a wedding for his daughter, and the Venetti's family is having a wedding, and there's mafia business going down, and the daughter's getting married. The only difference is the daughter's getting married to a rival family, and they're hoping to maintain close ties and keep from being wiped out themselves. So it's kind of like a political wedding, I guess you could say. But,
okay.
I mean, that's honestly what it reminds me of. I mean, like, the beginning, at least the first half of it, definitely reminds me of The Godfather. And then Nero, also, you find out later on, Nero ends up killing someone, or he's pinned on having killed someone from the Orco family, which is a rival family, and so he has to flee. Much like The Godfather, same thing. Al Pacino's character, he murders someone. He actually murders someone, and he doesn't get framed for it, but he then has to flee. So it's kind of the same thing, kind of the same deal, but
okay.
I mean, it definitely reminds me of it. Now, he doesn't really go on a bloody war path when he comes back. When Avilo comes back, he doesn't go on a bloody war path. He basically grew up surviving being a pickpocket, so he isn't a cold-blooded murderer. He's never killed anyone before until he kills one of the men, and it would be one of Nero's closest friend, his best bud that he kills. And I'm drawing a blank on his name. So,
and unfortunately, I don't remember the name either. But yeah, the reason he did that was to kind of
Bono.
sadistic and vindictive. He did it because he was almost found out, and he wanted to open a space in Nero's life that he could fit himself into.
Yeah, and the gentleman's name is Bono.
Bono. Okay.
Yeah.
Do we remember how all that went through?
I do. Yeah. So Serpente was guarding someone, and they Bono and Avilo ended up, or Angelo as he becomes, right? Capture the guy, right? So Bono takes him to a cemetery and shoots him. And after he shoots him, Angelo is behind him and murders him, making it look like that Serpente escaped and they killed each other. But what ends up happening is when he goes back to tell Nero this, they go back, the body's gone. The body ain't there. And so they believe Angelo was the one that killed Bono and Serpente escaped, only to find out that it was someone else that was actually there as well, and he took the body and then ran. It was
It was a good method.
Cerrato.
One more time?
Cerrato, Cerotto. Cerrato, Corrado, whatever. He's a bartender. He's of menial importance, other than the fact that people use and abuse him, and then he has to go and run. So that's how it all gets set up. He sells it to the authorities, who are obviously all corrupt, and then the authorities then go to the Venettis, say, hey, I know your boys killed him. How much you going to pay? Well, Nero and Angelo found out where the body was, so they went there to go investigate, and then at the same time, the Orcos, the rival family, appeared there, and so they had a shootout, and they're led to believe that or not led to believe... Well, yeah, I guess you could say they're led to believe that Nero was the one that actually killed him, so forcing Nero to go on a run, and Angelo was the one that ended up having to go on a run with him as protection.
Ironic, right?
Yeah. I mean, like, he could have taken the whole opportunity and time to kill him there, but they make a very good point in that if Angelo killed Nero then, he wouldn't be able to get close to the Venetti's Dawn.
Yeah, it's a psychological thriller just as much as it is a revenge story.
Yeah.
Because just like a human, in real life, you wouldn't want to kill everyone as quickly as possible. You'd want to get your revenge in its entirety.
Oh, which he does, and he even kills some people that aren't associated with the murdering of his family, but by them being tied to it at the same time.
Yeah.
He then, after Nero finally comes back, he kills his own brother, his Frate, because Frate tries killing
Nero as a truce.
Yeah, to do a truce for another for the family Theo Venetti got married into.
Yeah, it's a sick and twisted thing, and the brother's attempt, in my opinion, was half-hearted.
Well, I mean, like, it also looked like the family was freaking giving the brother drugs. Like, the dude is like always tossing like packets on the table. He's like, here, take this. It'll help you sleep or it'll help you relax. It's like, dude, you're doping him up. Like,
yeah. He was always the weaker of the two brothers.
Yeah, and he was trying to prove that he wasn't the weaker of the two brothers.
So he was easily manipulated. Yeah,
and I would really love to know what the letter was that Theo got to murder her baby daddy. You know, because you find out she's pregnant, she receives some flowers, she reads a note, turns around, shoots the dude.
Yeah, I don't think we ever find out.
Yeah, you don't. All you do is you see her getting on the train to go to her in-laws' house to stay and live, the Galassia family, and you see Angelo just whisper to her, and then that's it. She's gone. That's it. You never see her, hear nothing from her again. You don't even find out what the letter said to make her start crying and murder the dude.
There's got to be something that that shows something. But it was never that big of a mystery to me because it didn't seem too significant. I just automatically assumed Angelo sent the lady something like he's cheating on you and he plans on killing the baby or something like that, you know?
Yeah, but I would really love to know what he actually said. It would be nice. It would be great to know what he actually said.
True.
I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. So at that point, he's already taking out basically the family ties. He's wiping everyone out along the way that he can. But you also find out that one of the guys, Fongo, one of the other guys that ends up trying to kill Nero, well, and the rest of the Venetti family, he's like real sick and twisted. He's like really messed up in the head.
Oh, he's a masochist hard. He likes being beaten. He likes the pain that comes with it. And he's just twisted in the head, and he's just crazy enough that it makes the story seem extremely plausible. Because I hate to go off topic, but it is relevant. It's never the same people you choose as leaders, you know? It's the crazy ones with the loud voice that you're like, hey, we should follow him.
Well, it's not even that they decided to follow him because he was loud and crazy. It's because Orko, got murdered by him. And then on top of that, to make sure that his guys knew who the real boss was now, served up Orko, literally served him up in a lasagna to the Orko's family heads. And he's like, do you like it? And it's like, oh yeah. And then one of them basically find a finger in there and they're like, oh my God. He's like, yeah, let that be a lesson to you.
Again, the crazy one.
Yeah, it's not that they chose to follow him. They're like, basically, if we don't follow him, we're dead because he just served us our boss.
They could have killed him right then and there. They could have plotted something to kill him right then and there, but they didn't.
Well, it's not. How do you know that they didn't start plotting, right?
Because
I mean, like, there are already 2 attempts on his life he already lived. Okay, so we know
he
that.
enjoys that kind of thing. It's weird.
Yeah. But you don't know that they weren't plotting. I mean, like, you never find out that they were plotting because Soreto? No. Sorry.
I always thought it was Corretto.
Corteo.
Corteo, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, the friend, lifelong friend of Angelo. What he does is he ends up selling some information to Fango and his family. And then when Fango's like about to rat him out because he found his usefulness gone and he figured out the recipe as it was, like, dude, he brutally murders Fango with a phone. Yeah, he beats him to death with a phone, like, brutally. Yeah. So
you do what you got to do for the family. Come on.
Exactly. So roughly around that same time, you also find out that Gonzo, the uncle, one of the heads in the Venetti family, actually sent Angelo that letter.
Yep. And that's kind of like the revelation of who did what where, because it's somebody high up, And if you look back, here's the beauty in the writing of this. Now, this is 100% original. There's no manga to go off of. There's no adaptation. This is 100% just someone's like, hey, we should make a cartoon about this, through a storyboard at the director. And he's like, you know what? I like it. It's original. Let's do this thing. So when you look at it, if looking back with the knowledge that it's the head's brother that is the essential, the rat. When you look at every...
No, it's not the head's brother.
You said... Yeah.
No, Gary, the uncle. They call him the uncle, but he's not the head's brother.
Oh, I never understood that.
Yeah. So if you watch episode 13, which is only available in sub on Crunchyroll, it goes back to way back when Nero actually referenced the kids running away from church and going to the circus.
Yeah.
Okay. So you find out that's roughly around the time when they started plotting to take over the family. But you also learn that further back, because the son breaks into his dad's office, which is like, oh yeah, no, I'm going to try and pick the lock. It doesn't work. So he just pries it open with a bar, as if his dad wouldn't find out about it. It's like, just jams a bar in there and pries it open. You also find out that it was the uncle who brought him to the Laguzas, or Angelo's dad, to become a part of the family. And the Orcos were actually a part of that same family at the same time, too. So they were all playing cards. And then based on Vincent Vanetti's performance and how he was able to win, he let him be a part of the family. Because
I did not know that.
Yeah. So all this is discussed in episode 13. So you learn about that.
I only watched up to episode 12, I guess.
Yeah, the dub doesn't do episode 13, because it basically, episode 13, I mean, like, they could have inserted it right where Angelo and Nero were on the run, and that's where it honestly should have been, because Nero and Angelo are on the run, and Angelo ends up getting sick, and so he remembers all this.
Oh.
So.
Okay. That makes a little bit more sense now, because here's the thing that I got out of it. The uncle was the one who was feeling guilty about all this crap.
No, the uncle even says he wants power himself, and so he made it. He wants to become the head of the family himself.
Oh.
Yeah, he says that
when... I misread that completely. When
Angelo goes to confront him, he's like, what is this all about? He's like, power. What else would it be about? I want to be the head. I want to be the one in charge. I want to be the boss. The only way to do that is to take care of all of them, and who better than you? You know, I mean, like, by admitting to that.
That's right.
Yeah, by admitting to that also, sets Angelo on a killing rampage to kill everyone that was involved. I mean, like, he also ends up killing him. He kills his Vincent Vanetti, even though he's about to die from, I'm assuming, lung cancer. Kills the brother, he just, he does murder everyone sequentially. He doesn't just like bust in guns blazing and shooting everyone, but everything's meticulously planned to where they either kill each other off, or they die from an accident, or he does kill them himself, or someone else ended up murdering them.
Yeah. I'm going to go back to the writing on here and how good that was, because that goes more to prove my point that the writing is so good. If you go back and rewatch it, and you look at the uncle, every interaction the uncle has ever had with Angelo, when you look at it, there are subtle movements and subtle words that the uncle uses when either referencing him or talking to him that unless you like know what's going on, it makes no sense. It doesn't throw your alarm up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, his uncle's vouching for him the whole time, which it totally does make sense after you find out that he is the one that sent the letter and he was the fourth guy. Now, I mean, towards the end, that's honestly where it starts falling apart for me a little bit.
Really? Because I kind of felt like everything was falling into place.
No, I mean, like, everything was basically, it was fine all the way through until you started getting to the end, where it basically looked like how Feudal, the brother of Nero, looked. Yeah. You know, his eyes were all had bags under his eyes, made it, I mean, like, they made him look like he was doing drugs.
Yeah. Well, it's because he kind of was.
I mean, like, at that point, I mean, like, it's over 91 days. I mean, like, that's a lot of time. That's, basically 3 months.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. 3 months and 1 day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, depending on the month.
Well, yeah, true.
So.
True.
Yeah, 3 months. I mean, like, he comes back. He's able to escalate the ladder so quickly, but then they find out that he actually is a traitor at the same time towards the end of it, and all this is going on, and then the other family comes in and starts murdering people, and it's just, at the end, they're like, oh shit, how I feel. They're like, oh shit, we only have a couple more episodes to go. Let's throw all this in there. It's like,
slap everything together.
Yeah, just like start a rapid fire. It's like, we got to get this, got to get this, got to get this, got to get this. We only have like 3 more episodes to go, 4 more episodes to go, and we still have to tie up all these loose holes. So they started rapid fire. That's how it felt to me towards the end.
I kind of felt similarly, but from a different context. To me, the way that it felt and the way that it seemed wasn't that they're hurry up and get it done. It was that when one thing starts to go, everything starts to go. Like a domino effect, in the sense of like one of his lies became public and everyone was starting to like piece the puzzles together, and they saw a flaw in the power that the head family did have, and they're like, we need to take it, act now, go, 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 go.
Well, it wasn't even that. It wasn't even
in real life.
No,
but in real life, when shit goes bad, it doesn't go bad slowly.
Well, no, it's not that they saw a flaw in the head family go, 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 go. It's that, oh shit, the head of the family got murdered. Go, 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 go. That's what ended up happening, right? But I'm not talking about that, because it wasn't that his lies came out and then everything else fell into place. It was the lie came out, and so he decided to change his plan, and then he murdered the Glacio's Don, and so the Glacia took that at the opportunity, because the nephew or whatever decided to take that as the opportunity to seize control. And that point, that's when everything started being go, 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 go. But it was go, 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 go for the Glacia, and for the Vanettis, it was like, live, please. But that's not the part I'm referring to, because I could get that. Like, the lie came out, and then it was like no one really made all the connections, and they were still staggering and stumbling through everything, it felt like to me. And then they also decided to start throwing everything they can together to try and tie it up. And then on top of that, it just, Man, I would have loved a better ending. They left the ending open. They didn't give it a real conclusion. You were left like, what the hell?
Now, I laugh not as maniacally as I should have at that, but that's always been my biggest issue and my greatest satisfaction in anime like this. You have the American mentality of everything has to have a nice and tidy ending.
No. The reason why they give happy endings is because of the standard American mentality. Before, when they gave endings, they gave real endings.
Where everything was finished and finite.
Well, not even finite. It was just like everything was finished. It's like, yeah, no, there's no way coming back from this. It could have been just like a brutal ending and you're left like, what the hell just happened? But it was an ending. Yeah, it's like they didn't even end it. They just like, well, all right, we're out of funds. So, yeah, let's move on.
Well, see, that's where I disagree with you. I think this ending was it was damn near perfect. It was damn near everything in the story that mattered was not only confronted, but handled in a manner in which it satisfied my curiosity and my idea.
Yeah, I claim bullshit. Bullshit. Bullshit.
Well, no, hear me out. At the very end, what do you see?
I see an open ending. You don't know what the hell happened to Angelo. You don't find out at all. You're left with the same thing at the beginning. Angelo's walking away. The dude closes his eye and shoots. You don't know if Angelo's dead or alive. And then you see the guy driving away and he has a can of pineapples off to the right. You don't know if he's dead. You don't know if the dude's dead. They just show water washing away sands and they go their separate ways. You don't know if he's dead. I want an ending. I don't care if the dude freaking straight up murders and rapes him. I want an ending.
Well, here's where I diverge from your opinion on this, and it's kind of awesome. So just like the beginning, he closes his eyes and he fires, right? In the beginning, he knew he missed. He knew he failed his father. At the end, he was a free man. He had no ties to the family anymore. And he closed his eyes and he made his decision. He pulled the trigger, so in his heart, he knew that he avenged his father.
You don't know that? Don't give me that bullshit. Don't give me that. No. That's bullshit and you know it.
He pulled the trigger, closed his eyes. In my mind, he didn't look to see if he made the connecting shot. He turned around and he walked away.
In his heart, I want one of those two dead. All right, straight up.
In his heart, he knows that he pulled the shot, and I feel like the shot connected. I feel like the shot connected, and he walked away, and he walks away, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna start a new life. He's got that can in his car. He's driving away, and that is a new story for a new man.
Well, first of all, in case you didn't know, the dude Nero hates pineapples. He even says it. He hates sweet stuff. Okay, the only one that likes pineapples is Angelo. All right. 2,
new life.
Doesn't matter. You can't change your taste. All right. What you like is what you like. You like booze?
I agree.
Okay. So number 2, all right, it goes against the whole premise. Angelo goes back, gets revenge for his whole family. No. What does he do? He takes the wuss way out, walks away, doesn't get revenge for his whole family. Right? It doesn't matter. All right. I want an ending. I left it open. I was disappointed in the ending, man. That was bull.
Nero never agreed with the whole we have to kill the other family. He was just following orders. It's why he closed his eyes when he shot in the beginning. He didn't agree with that.
No, it's not that he didn't agree with it. He had never murdered anyone before. He was scared.
I don't think he was scared. I think he just didn't agree. He didn't understand. And his father was just like, you have to do this. This is what we're doing. This is what it means for the family. Go do it.
No,
and so he begrudgingly
did it. That. No, it's not that he begrudgingly did it. Straight up, he's like, I was scared. I closed my eyes and I took the shot. He even says that, if I remember correctly. But it's kind of irrelevant of the point.
Yeah, it's irrelevant.
The point is,
it was a beautiful, perfect, immaculate ending.
It was a bullshit ending, and I take cleaner shits than that ending. All right? So...
And I see, the fact that you don't know if the shot connected or not.
Dude, it's got to have an ending. It's got to have an ending. All right.
And it does have an ending.
No, it left an opening.
If you want to get technical, the interpretation could be that they both walked away after having died on that beach because they both had guns pointed at them.
No, they didn't. Dude, at
maybe
the
not
ending,
physically, but metaphorically, you had an option.
No, they both didn't have guns pointed at them metaphorically at the end on the beach. All right. Angelo was walking away. He was taking a cop out. He's being a wuss. And then Nero points the gun, closes his eyes, and shoots again, not leaving you to wonder whether or not the shot connected. I would prefer an ending, but that's my personal opinion. I am welcome to my opinion. Thank you very much.
You absolutely are, even if it's wrong.
Yeah, I could say the same about you.
And that's the beauty of this particular ending.
I don't like it.
You are 100% right, and I'm 100% right.
Fair enough.
In our own head.
Fair enough. Look. All right. I mean, like, I was with it all the way through till the end. Personally, that's where I was. Yeah. I got nothing else to say on that.
Well, okay.
I mean,
to show your point, I know what you're talking about. I felt what you're feeling in the past about different anime. And it does suck because you want that solid conclusion. You want to know. But I think that last little shot of him driving away with the pineapple, to me, signified that he's a changed man. Two, he can't quite throw away the sweet stuff because of how much that fake friendship meant to him. And three, the idea that he didn't kill him in the end is kind of open-ended because in case they wanted to do a second season. That's, if I had to be real and I had to be 100%, this is what I think. I think they left it open-ended for that second season potential.
Well, while he's actually driving away, while Nero's driving away, you see the guy that was actually following him to kill them both. So one of them could still die, but you don't know. I mean, like, even if Nero's going off for his new life, whatever type thing, he will eventually, probably be murdered by that guy because you don't know. You don't know if that guy's going to turn around and start driving after him because he was one of the Glacia going after him.
Yeah, you have a point.
So they basically said, here's your ending. And that's it. It's like, all right, cool. I felt anyways, personally, but that's just my opinion. Personally, could have been better. I thought could have been better.
It could have been a hell of a lot worse too. I want to point that out.
Yes, it could have been a hell of a lot worse.
There was a few turning points in the anime where I was like, oh God, if they go down this trope, it's going to ruin everything. And then they didn't. So to me, the last maybe 3 or 4 episodes, super suspenseful, super fast paced. Like you felt the rush, not of the developers, but of the story, like running full speed towards the climax. And yeah, I think that if we had more anime like this, it would be good, personally.
All right. Okay. Well, so we're going to go with a little bit more standardized form of rating on a scale of 1 to 5 FAPs. How many FAPs would you give this?
This one, it's a solid 5.
Oh, God. Okay. I give it a 3.75 because I hated the ending. It killed it for me. 3.75.
Still pretty good. Probably our highest rating yet.
Yeah. Nah, probably not. Actually, I think Your Lie in April was a higher. I think it was 4.5 average.
Okay. Maybe. But you'll have to go and listen to that if you haven't already and make a judgment for yourself.
Yes. Well, I think that wraps it up for today. Next week, it's my choice, and I decided to go with something a little bit random. I had this anime chosen at random, so neither one of us have seen it. It honestly, hopefully, will be pretty interesting. It's called Mazinger Edition Z, The Impact.
I'm so glad you attempted that name because reading it is difficult.
Well, I mean, like I chose the Americanized English version rather than the Japanese version because I don't want to try and say that.
Fair.
I mean, like, guess I could try. I mean, like, Shin Mazinger Shogeki Zihen. I mean, it's a mecha. It's a drama. It's action. It's a shonen anime. It is 26 episodes long, and it came out in spring of 2009.
Oh, okay. So it's not that old.
No, it's not that old.
After looking at it, it looks to be, in my opinion, a mix between a generic Gundam series and Lupin the Third. So we'll see. I've got high hopes. I like them both. I like both of those genres. So we'll see. We'll see next week how we like it.
Indeed, we shall. If you would like to hear a deeper dive on this anime or any other anime that we talk about, feel free to let us know. Go ahead and reach out to us if you want at the Feudal Anime Podcast at gmail.com. That is Feudal Anime Podcast at gmail.com. And we will catch you next time.
Later.